Alright, so good body position, pretty good extension, your breathing is comfortable, kick looks relaxed. So with the back, the two things I noticed was one, your left arm tends to go more to the center when you're reaching forward, which could perhaps over-rotate or cause a little extra stress on the left side. And then number two was you tend to flip in the same direction, so it might be good to switch directions on flipping if you're able to. And then here, looking at your legs, seeing if they're tracking off at all, meaning not right behind your torso. And sometimes you can see how they're swiveling more to the left. It could be what's going on with your right arm pull under the water. That's really tough to say. That could just be general tightness in the lower body. Alright, and here, what you want to notice is how that left arm reaches, or left hand reaches almost across. Sometimes it's right in front of your head, whereas the right tends to be more in front of your shoulder. So that could be the little imbalance that's causing some problems. So here, looking at the style of pull that you have, and if you recall from our discussion, you have more of a straight arm style at the moment. Straight arm is the upper arm and forearm and hand are more or less one line when viewed from the side. You can slow this down on YouTube and watch. There's also a little bit of your forearm being pitched upward. A swim coach would refer to that as a little bit of an elbow slip, meaning your elbow is coming back towards your torso before your forearm does. The ideal sort of pull is the vertical forearm or high elbow catch, where as soon as possible in the stroke, your hand and forearm go vertical relative to the bottom of the pool, so that when you're pulling, the water is being pulled backwards instead of being pushed down or slipped past, pushed down in the first part of the straight arm or slipped past with the forearm being pitched upward any amount as you pull through the stroke. From this kind of view, the rotation is good. You don't quite see where the left hand is reaching to, but we'll see that when you swim towards the camera. We talked a lot about your kick. Your kick in and of itself is fine. It's a matter of thinking about the kick when you're swimming, trying to be conscious of the timing and what's going on with it. Your breathing looks comfortable. You're doing a good job exhaling while your face is in the water. So out of all the stuff I've watched, I'd say fixing the left arm starting position is the most likely culprit for back issues. So here you can see how that hand reaches in front of your head or even across. Alright, so looking at the kick, trying to see if anything jumps out. You're moving forward. Feet are plantar flexed, which is good. So you're mostly originating at the hip. Cyril. Yeah, so you're moving pretty good here. So this kick technique is not a problem. It's a matter of just being aware and conscious of what your kick is doing while you're swimming to minimize a scissor kick, which is when the legs kick out outside the streamline, as well as to get a little more thrust out of them. All right, here
having you look up a little more, and working on reducing or eliminating the left hand reaching in. This is better. Yeah, that left has a tendency to really want to cross in. Same thing. Good. So I'm sure that feels funny, but that's actually good. Very good. Right, not crossing in at all now. A little bit on that one. Not at all on that one. Pull and swim right at me so I can get the front angle on that. Alright, so talk about eliminating the crossover. Very good. So hands more at like 11 and 1 here. That's excellent. Alright, so this one also maintaining, you know, the good extension point, but now really trying to reach as far as possible with each stroke. So this is just working on extension. By virtue of improving your extension, your rotation will improve. You just get a longer stroke, cover more water per stroke. And so this would be, in all probability, a speed improvement, not changing anything else. You will experience fatigue as you keep working on this because your muscles simply get tired of trying to reach as far as you can every time. And so that's a good reason to also swim, you know, a couple times a week.
So here we were working on one arm drill in order to work on the vertical forearm or high elbow catch. And if you recall from our discussion, so you want to extend or reach forward as far as you can, and then internally rotate or internally shrug the shoulder, which allows your elbow to externally rotate. And then as soon as possible in the stroke, you want your hand and forearm to go vertical to the bottom of the pool, so that that pulling motion is pulling water back as opposed to pushing water down or allowing the water to slip past your forearm. And you are doing a good job of it. So the way to work on this is do, you know, a lot of one arm drill, just being real conscious of what you're doing. You can actually watch your hand and forearm. So that's a good one right there. And then over time you do the best you can to integrate it into your actual swimming. Another drill that we didn't do during the session would be to, I know you have those triangular paddles, take the paddles, but instead of putting them on your hands, hold them in fists so that the paddle covers more of your forearm, and you could swim with the paddles in that fashion, trying to feel your forearm pulling the water, which is also part of this thought process. You can do that with one arm as well, with the one arm drill. So just different ways to work on the same issue. So yeah, this would be a technique improvement, efficiency improvement. It also may make you more fatigued, you know, initially. Regarding the back, I really think that the only thing I could see was that left arm positioning at the start of the stroke could be causing an imbalance, which would, you know, create a little extra tension and tightness on that one side, which could exacerbate existing issues. So I hope that all helps.